welcome to Nessie's Bliss. Today I'm just finishing off an area between my trees. I'm hoping it's going to come to nighttime because I need to put some lights in this area, and I need to do some fencing on the side. And then we'll move over to the last area, I think, in my tree area that will need decorating. It's going to be a similar space to this, well, pretty much exact. It's going to be 5 squares across, the same as this one, and hopefully incorporating some of these features as well. I've put the statues here. As you can see, I have put the paving in, and also these lilies. One thing to note about these lilies is that if you put a whole line of lilies in, you'll only end up with one lily at one end and another lily at the other end. Or the lotus flower. I think that's what they're called. Um, in here, I've put some lights and I've gone further with some statues. I really wanted to incorporate the coconut trees into one of my into one of my farm tree areas. Um, and I chose this area because we've got the lower raspberry bushes here, whereas the other area has got a lot of tall trees. So I thought the coconut trees here would be a better suit. I've also placed I think some sturgeons in here and some salmon. A swordfish, sorry. They are swordfish. I should have looked at what I had in the square on the left bottom side. Um, and I've also put some lights in. I haven't finished them off because I want to wait until nighttime. So while we're waiting for nighttime to finish off this area, let's decide on the fencing. It's been a really hard decision. I need something low because the raspberry bushes. And also I use the higher fencing for the trees and where my farm hands are working. So let's go and visit my farm hands anyway while we're here. So as you can see, I've got two farm hands in the citrus area, and I've got two farm hands in the apple area, and then beyond that, I have got two farm hands in like where the pears and that kind of species of trees are. So pretty much, if I have visitors on my farm, they won't need to do a lot down in this area. I've got plenty of farm hands. So let's go down to the area that we're decorating. We will be coming to the area. This will be my last area to decorate. You'll notice that these are a lot wider than the other ones. These are 5 squares apart. These areas I've done smaller because these are going to be less frequently visited, I think, um, because the farm hands are basically doing the work. But again, I've still decorated them, and I decided to use the sunflowers as the theme for both of these. I've got another similar area down there. I don't know if you can see it from here. But I've used the theme of the sunflowers and the raspberries. The raspberries kind of work really well if I want like a tree in the area but not big. And you can put taller trees into those pots as well, by the way. You can put your coconut trees. You just got to be wary that they're going to be taller than what they are. And the height can kind of look a little bit weird, like a tall thing in the pots, but that's okay if that's what you like. Alright, I've decided not to go with that one. This one here, it's got that blue in it, and I really don't want the blue to be there. It would have been really nice if it could have come in a grey, maybe, in a nice silver tone. Uh, that's the thing. If you notice, some things you can change the color of, some of the fences. Um, Others, they are what they are. So this is the metal separator. It would have been really nice to be able to maybe have a different color in this. So there's only certain ones where you can change. So that didn't look too great. I tried that before. It was green. It was the closest I could get to like really yellow. And it didn't look too great. So that was quickly deleted. let's remove these fences. I think I'm going to go with the white. For some reason, I kind of like the white on this side, and I kind of like. I could have them the same. It doesn't really matter. In the flowers, I've got different fences on each side. But I'm thinking I'm going to do the same thing here. Just to be wary of, before you start decorating your farms, um, make sure that you've done like all your daily chores. So you've done all your harvesting, your crops and your flowers and your animals. Do your machines. Then you don't have too much to worry about while you're decorating. So let's finish off these fences. Also, you got to keep in mind if you are limited in diamonds and you've got like a maximum spend amount, you really need to plan your decorating. Then you're not having to delete a lot of things. Because sometimes when you end up decorating, you do place things and then you'll remove them. You'll come back and think, oh, I don't like that there, and remove it. So, depending on your diamond spend, and if you've got a limited spending amount, um, is how you're going to be able to really undertake your decorating. I don't have to worry about too much about my diamonds, so I can pretty much place things and delete them. It's not going to be a big deal to me. So let's go ahead and we'll finish off this area and we'll put the fences down. So this area is pretty much done. I'm just waiting for nighttime now to come to finish off the lighting here. And I might change it to different color lights. So it might be, we'll see how it looks. I just want to go down, back down and see how I've done the lighting down here. I did do it just a little while ago. Okay. Hmm. I need to work out. I think I put the purple ones down here. So we're just going to make sure of that. Yeah. So maybe we'll put the orange ones in and see how they go. And then we'll maybe put the blue ones. I wasn't going to put any lights here because there's already the lights of these lanterns, but we'll give them a go and see how it looks. This time we'll put the blue ones in. If just be mindful that the light saying blue is not the actual color of the light; it's the surroundings of the light. And the color, oops, and the color, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, changes with the different variants. So it's not going to be a blue light, but depending on what shade you have, so the colors really turn out more vivid and bright. Like these blue ones will actually be pink in the water. I'm trying to keep the lights out of the water for this one. The reason being, I do have fish. If you stick lights down here or here and here, it will separate the fish, and it will require more clicks to harvest the fish. Whereas if I just put them here, it should hopefully only require like one click. I've left a little bit of gap here, and I'm not quite sure if they're going to be swimming through that. So that's the thing, is that you got to realize that this lamp could possibly be separating the rest of my fish. So it's going to take me 2 clicks rather than 1 click to harvest. That's if you're worried about that. If you're not concerned about that, go, have some fun and put lights around wherever you like in the water. So I'm thinking we need something also here. And I'm not quite sure what to put there, but we also need some lights down, I think, in this bottom area. So you can see how the blue lights have turned pink now. So this is a good way to see how your colors are turning out. I think I would have really liked this to be a whole pink area in here, but that's okay. I might come and change that another time. You can see now these orange lights are a little bit bluish. And that's lit up pretty well actually. And as you can see, the purple ones are more of this bright color. So I was going to think, yeah, that looks kind of good. But what does it look like if we did the same as those trees? Because to me, it's looking not exactly how I planned. So let's have a look at these purple ones and see how they go in. I kind of like that better just because it kind of all fits in with that theme. I mean, all this really comes down to is personal taste. So we'll just replace these lights. So this is a good thing about nighttime. This is the time to do your lights. It's much easier at night. You can get your colors and see how they look in their surroundings. Like when I did these, I thought this would actually be a really nice color. But I actually prefer the other color. It's a little bit brighter. Just for this area anyway. You can stick your lights through this area as well if you want to, but I think going around the outside of this is going to be enough. You don't have to also do the choose lights with 2 lights in a square. You can choose the with just 1 light, but just keep in mind it will only give you 1 light in the middle. Alright, so let's finish off this area here. Hopefully we can get this done by time night ends, because I would really like to change that colour down there, I think, too. Mm. So those were the orange ones we used. I would like this kind of, see if we can get like this pink area and let it flow into this area. So maybe like these aren't the best idea. I put these in during daytime so you can see now why it's a lot easier to do them at night. Let's see how the blue ones look. I think that the pink ones suit this area a lot better. So let's take these out and we'll put some pink ones in. You can also go along, which I may do later, and put some lights along the path so the lights aren't so dark. Yeah. And just be very careful of what you're deleting. You can see that there's the little red spots going around. So I've make sure that I only delete those lights and not the other decoration or anything else around it. So be careful when you do delete. Where the little red lines go around is where you're deleting. So this is this last lot now. So I like to actually step on them or in between them, and then I'm sure that the only things I'm going to be deleting. Perfect. All right. Let's go around and finish off this area. And then it'll flow into here. And you'll notice that these are a different color, so we'll see how that goes again. I don't want to be going putting lights down the side. If I can, at the moment, because I can't see what's going to look good. We may have to come back at another time and do the lights down the side. But then again, like you do have your choices again. You can put lights all the way down at intervals. Here you've got the room to put them on the side or over the path like this. So you know when you're running through, um, the lights will come on, and you'll have a light either side. You can also choose the standalone lights too, and just have them bit more like spaced out. Um, if you put a single light, it's going to end up in the middle. All right, and you can't put them where fences are. So if you're doing a single light, I've really only got along here where I can put them, which is okay if that's what you want. Otherwise, I think I might go for the double. You can also put arches here if you really want to have like a little fence running along here. At the moment, I'm really undecided on what to do at the front here. I'm thinking I might just have some flowers. I could put some statues as well, but I've already used them down there. So I haven't done a lot of planning for this part, by the way, so it's just kind of come from the top of my head today. I've only done this in the last hour or so. So let's see some ideas that we could put in front. I'm thinking of some nice flowers, but I don't really want to go be putting these sort of red bricked squares. I kind of like this. So I'm thinking if I'm putting in some flowers that I put them in here. But do I want flowers in there? I had to be kind of careful because I've already used uh, where's the plant holder that I'm looking for? This plant holder here. I've already used it a number of times in those smaller areas that I had. I saw earlier on. So I'm really kind of stuck on what to put here. I can also put the path there as well. We can see what that looks like, but I don't think I'm going to be a big fan of that. It does look kind of good in some ways because it kind of joins it up here. So it is kind of nice. Actually, I don't mind that. For now, I'm going to leave it like that and come back if I've got some ideas, but at least for now, it's not a bad decoration. But what I do know is that I do want some lights. So I think they were kind of blue lights, and I kind of want them to be, I think, under the water. So for underwater, you need to use single lights. If you use double lights, for some reason, the land will come up, so you won't have water there. So maybe if we can just put some little lights in here, somehow amongst these lily pads, that would be really nice. And by doing that, look at that. I've actually divided them now, and there's three little lily pads on that side. We'll see how that looks. I don't know if I like that. We may have to come back um, at a later time and redo this front bit. The other thing I'd like to put in, because we are near the train lines, if you watched my choo-choo video, my previous video, I put the train in. I learned on Farm Together 1 um, when I'm establishing my farm to put a path all the way around the outside. That gives me a little bit of room. If there's any additions or I want to add extra things, having this path around the outside has paid off for me now because I've got my train track running all the way around the outside, which will make it easier. So my planning is I liked on Farm Together 1 to have all my crops as close to the edge as possible. This kind of allows for expansion, and not only that, I can end up using the center areas to do more decorations, and also some room for the events as well. So I'm looking at like having all my farm on one farm. Up till before I decorated the animals area, which is in one of my previous videos. It wasn't laid out like this at all. So this has been a lot of hard work to kind of get it like this. Um, so I started with my animals, my flowers, now my trees. I also created this duck area, if you remember that video. So after the trees, I'm thinking I'm going to be working on decorating my crop area. Um, Getting back to my trees, I think I want to kind of mirror what's here, but I don't want to have the same exact same decorations, but I kind of like how my flowers turned out. So I'm wanting to do that for my trees as well. So you can see here I've done these smaller narrow areas, which are only about 3 squares wide. In this area here, these are 5 squares wide. The ones in the flower area were a lot bigger, a lot wider. But I find that my tree area is actually one of the least areas visited. Not that I shouldn't decorate it the exact same, but this is a high production area with my farm hands as well. I don't think I'm going to require as much decoration on this side. Um, yes, so before my animal area was here, my farm was basically just set up for production until I got to like a level where I didn't have to watch my diamonds as much anymore. Didn't have to watch my coins much anymore. So I thought it was a good time to start getting my farm organized. So the layout of my farm is based on my farm and Farm Together 1. Maybe I'll do a throwback video and maybe a comparison one day once all this farm is built. Like I said, I'm sure I've said earlier that my fish here, I can't do my fish area yet. I'm waiting to get 2 more fish. Once I get those 2 more fish, then I'll be able to start on my fish area and get it properly set up. At the moment, it's primarily set up to try and get the levels of these existing fish up so I can level up and get the 2 remaining fish. It looks like it's going to take me some time though. In the meantime, we'll look at the trees and we'll go to the crops. So primarily today, I want to really start off with getting this one done. So join my next vid if you're really wanting to know how to start off from scratch. Uh, you can join in on my part 2 video. It's about lost my words there, damn it. Um, but yeah, I think what we're going to do here for now is just stop this video and I will be back with part 2 of starting from scratch and decorating an area.